It's described somewhat in this song, but more elaborately in these prayers of Kunti, as I remember. It's describing how like he's trembling and we're live, okay, and tears are running down his face, smearing his kajal, right? This makeup eyeliner that they wear for protection. So a very extraordinary, charming vision of the Lord. Does someone want to read the second verse translation? Should we go around?
Sure. Seeing the whipping stick in his mother's hand, he is crying and rubbing his eyes again and again with his two lotus hands. His eyes are filled with fear, and the necklace of pearls around his neck, which is marked with the 3 lines like a conch shell, is shaking because of his quick breathing due to crying. To this Supreme Lord, Sri Damodar, whose belly is bound not with ropes but with his mother's pure love, I offer my obeisances.
By such childhood pastimes as this, he is drowning the inhabitants of Gokul in pools of ecstasy, and is revealing to those devotees who are absorbed in knowledge of his supreme majesty and opulence that he is only conquered by devotees whose pure love is imbued with intimacy and is free from all conceptions of awe and reverence. With great love, I again offer my obeisances to Lord Damodar hundreds and hundreds of times.
O Lord, although you are able to give all kinds of benediction, I do not pray to you for the boon of impersonal liberation, nor the highest liberation of eternal life in Vaikuntha, nor any other boon, which may be obtained by executing the 9 processes of Bhakti. O Lord, I simply wish that this form of yours as Balgopal and Vrindavan may ever be manifest in my heart. For what is the use to me of any other boon besides this?
O Lord, your lotus face, which is encircled by locks of soft black hair tinged with red, is kissed again and again by Mother Yashoda, and your lips are reddish like the bimba fruit. May this beautiful vision of your lotus face be ever manifest in my heart. Thousands and thousands of other benedictions are of no use to me.
O Supreme Godhead, I offer my obeisances unto you, O Damodar, O Ananta, O Vishnu, O Master, O my Lord, please be pleased upon me. By showering your glance of mercy upon me, deliver this poor ignorant fool who is immersed in an ocean of worldly sorrows and become visible to my eyes.
O Lord Damodar, just as the 2 sons of Kuvra, Manigrava, and Nalakisvara were delivered from the curse of Narada and made into great devotees by you, your form as a baby tied with rope to a wooden grinding mortar. In the same way, please give to me your own Prama Bhakti. I only long for this and have no desire for any kind of liberation.
O Lord Damodar, I first of all offer my obeisances to the brilliantly effulgent rope which binds your belly. I then offer my obeisances to your belly, which is the abode of the entire universe. I humbly bow down to your most beloved Srimati Radharani, and I offer all obeisances to you, the Supreme Lord, who displays unlimited pastimes.
Namamishwaram Sachidananda Rupam Lasat Kundalam Gokule Brajamanam. Namamishwaram Sachidananda Rupam Lasat Kundalam Gokule Brajamanam. Lasat
Tatankanetram Ushashakampa Chirakanka Itagraiva Damodaram Bhakti Badam Isidik Swalila Virananda Kunde Bhagoshami Majantam Makya Payantam Param Deva Moksham Na Moksha Vadim Va Na Chanyam Vineham Vadesharapiha Idanteva Purnata Gopala Balam Tadame Manasya Virashtam Kimanyai Idante Mukam Bojam Avyakta Nile Vitam Kuntalai Sindha Aktaisha Gopya Uhoshamitam Bimbarakta Dharamhe Manasya Virashtam Alam Lakshalabhai Samudeva Damodarananta Vishnu Prasida Prabodhuka Jalabhi Magnam Damodarananta Vishnu Prasida Prabodhuka Jalabhi Magnam Vipajishti Vishyati Dinam Bhatanu Vihane Shamramagya Merakshi Jishya Am I on verse 7 now? Did I repeat? Okay. Uvaratmajo Bada Murchaiva Yadvad Kayamochito Bhakti Bhajokito Cha Murchaiva Yadvad Kayamochito Bhajokito Cha Tata Prema Bhaktim Swakame Prayacha Namokshe Graho Misti Damodareha Rasakundalam Gokule Brajamanam Saraswaram Satchidanandarupam Rasakundalam Gokule Brajamanam Dasharabhiyolukaladavamanam Paramishamatyam Tataruja Gopya Paramishamatyam Tataruja Gopya. Our Gurudev liked this song very much. Welcome, Piyush. What about Hey Deva Bhavantam Vande? Do you want to sing that?
That's very song.
He's not here. You can sing it on his behalf. Or another Kartik song you'd like to sing?
Which page is that?
226.
I mean, I can give it a go. Hey
Deva Bhavantam Vande Krishna Deva Bhavantam Vande Manasa Madhukara Arpaya Nija Pada Pankaja Makarande Manasa Madhukara Arpaya Nija Pada Pankaja Makarande Krishna Deva Bhavantam Vande Krishna Deva Bhavantam Vande Yadapi Samadhishu Hidirapi Pachati Natavanaka Gramadichyam Idami Chami Nishamya Tavachuta Tarapi Kripadhuta Vichyam Krishna Deva Bhavantam Vande Krishna Deva Bhavantam Vande Bhakti Rudan Chati Adapi Madhava Tatvai Mama Chila Matri Padameshwarata Tadapi Tavad
sing one more song. If you go to the page before.
55,
Yeah. Radhe Jaya Jaya Madhava Daite.
Radhe Jaya Jaya
Radhe Jaya Jaya Madhava Daite. Gokula Taruni Mandala Mahite. Gokula Taruni Mandala Mahite. Radhe Jaya Jaya Madhava Daite. Vishakha. just little Mahamantra. Bolo Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Bolo Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Bolo Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Bolo Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Bolo Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Bolo Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Bolo Jai, Jai Shri Hari Nam Sankirtan Ki Jai. Okay. All our Dandavat Pranams, respects to all. Today is it's a special day for us. We have many special days. But today is an extra special day, we can say. And it's the beginning of a sacred month for us, known as Kartik. And it is particularly associated with Radharani, who is she represents our supreme feminine deity, you could say, representing the divine feminine principle, Radharani, Krishna's consort. So this month is particularly connected with her, and so it is like an opportunity. We see it as an opportunity to, what energy you give for your spiritual practice in this month, it has more return, more spiritual return. And it's a month when we try to limit our material enjoyment. We try to limit our material enjoyment as much as possible, and give more attention to our spiritual practice. And there are also Jai Ratnavali Giri Ki Jai. Is the Jai Prabhu here too?
He is just washing some pots.
Okay. So it's also a month when, so one of the principles that we follow in our practice is encapsulated by one verse of one of our gurus, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati, Pujala Ragapata Gaurava Bange. Right? And this principle is that, we understand that there are different stages of development in our spiritual evolution. And we're at a stage, and there were two ways of practicing bhakti, practicing devotion. And one is called the path of Vidhi-marg, means more kind of restricted, following rules and regulations, following a regulated practicing life, right? That, you wake up a certain time, you will chant a certain amount every day. We worship deities, and there are particular ways in which we worship them, right? According to time, procedure, mantras that we chant, right? So there's some restriction, some regulation, there's some formalities also that we follow, right? That's one type of devotional practice. And then there's another, Ragamarg, means, naturally, from the heart, spontaneous, automatic, based on, like serving the Lord, offering worship to the Lord, not because that's what you're supposed to do according to scripture or according to some particular procedure, but because that's just the automatic pull of the heart, right? As we were discussing, I think last Saturday, the meaning of Krishna is all attractive, right? And this is actually, it's something quite unique actually about the worship of Krishna, that it's based on natural attraction. Like the highest devotees of Krishna, they're not actually aware that he's God. It's just that he's the most incredibly charming, beautiful, and attractive being that they know, and they're compelled to serve him and love him, adore him, give everything for him. Right? Not because they're supposed to. Oh, you're God. Okay, I better bow down. I better serve you. But it's just they, just like little charming little children, like we have Chaitanya Priya. If there's a charming child in the room, everyone's falling over themselves. They want to, a little child can have everyone wrapped around their finger, right? Just because they're so adorable, So Krishna's nature is like that, right? Jai Chaitanya Priya. Thank you. Thank you very much. So Krishna's closest like associates, companions, they're not worshiping him on an altar, right? They want to love him and serve him just because he's irresistible, right? This is his nature. So this is one, we consider this to be the highest type of devotion. It's just based on this automatic pull of the heart, spontaneous, irresistible pull of the heart. So that we see as the highest, but we also recognize that it's not really appropriate for us on our level. Welcome. It's not appropriate for us on our level, because if we just were to follow what's spontaneously pulling us in our heart all the time, then we might be in trouble, right? Our mind tells us all kinds of things, right? So it's not always safe to just be spontaneous, right? You know, in especially like in this modern age, you know, it's like this humanistic type of era. Like there's a lot of emphasis on you know, just living life as you feel it, right? Yeah, like if we have pure hearts, then that's safe. But if we don't, then you could be in trouble, right? And others could be in trouble if we all just do what we feel, like the Nike thing, right? Just do it. Right, that's nice in principle, but in practice, you know, not a good idea. Not a good idea. Is that Sandra? Wow, looking very smart. Here's a chair for you.
Thank you.
So this is our conception and our practice, right? That we worship that type of devotion as something at a higher level. Right? Those who can just do it. Right? Those who are pure enough to be able to just do it. Right? We worship that ideal, and we worship those who are on such a pure level. Right? But we ourselves, we follow, you know, to a lesser or greater degree, we follow this what I was calling vidimar, this more restricted, regulated type of devotion. So there are many things like in our ideology that we kind of keep on an upper shelf and we don't dive into, right? Many like fine sentiments of devotion that some of our acharyas, our gurus, have expressed in their writings, their prayers, their poetry. We don't dive into them, right? They're expressing very like kind of fine sentiment. That we can just kind of pollute with our, you know, the pool of ideas that we've gathered from our, you know, limited experience in this world, right? So this is one of the special things about this month of Kartik, that we're kind of given access to some of these like higher moods of devotion. Like it's kind of like. Our Gurudev expressed it one day, like we're given the opportunity to like practice, like to some extent practice in the way that higher level devotees will practice. And so some of these prayers we've just sung, they're of a very elevated nature. And we don't sing them every day. You know, but like this song we just sang, it's kind of describing to some extent like the intimate, like lovers' relationship between Radha and Krishna, which normally we don't go into because, you know, what is our reference point? It just, you know, the polluted expression of that in this world, right? So in this prayer we just saying there's this glorification of Radha, right, in her relationship with Krishna. And there are other songs. We didn't have so much time, but there are a number of songs that we'll sing in this month that we won't sing at other times. And many of you've come in a bit later, but you missed out on a really beautiful song, the Damodar, which is it's like a celebration of what we call the aprakrita Leela of Krishna. You know, we consider going back to like, you know, what are the specialties of Krishna and why we're following this. Like this aprakrita Leela, it means like the human-like play of the Lord, that supreme absolute being, the divine source of everything, you know, Ishvara, one of our scriptures, Ishvara Parama Krishna Satchidananda Vigraha Anadir Adir Govinda Sarva Karana Karanam. What is the nature of this absolute being? He's the cause of all causes. He's the origin of all. He's the concentrated form of truth, eternity, and bliss, the supreme God of all gods. And that supreme absolute being, like in his homeland, he's taking this posing of this little boy, who's running in fear of his mother, who's afraid to be chastised by his mother. It is such a wonderful conception of God. So we sang one beautiful prayer describing this nature of the Lord. And this is described as one of very peculiar and highest characteristics of what is pure devotion, that they have the power to conquer God, right? And this is what is so peculiar about love, right? Love has the power to take someone under your control, right? And from like a rational perspective, like it won't make any sense even, right? Like we were referring to the example of a small child. A 3-year-old child can literally like control their parents. Like there isn't any logic in that. Love has its own logic, right? And so this is the whole play of Krishna. This is the whole play of God, like in his private life, right? He's exploring the world of love and play. And so this is why he likes to pose in this kind of position, right? As like a little unassuming boy, or a charming teenager, right? Who's surrounded by, he's perfectly situated to reciprocate in the maximum number of relationships. This is his field of interest, like love, relationships, play, So, and this is one of the great mysteries, right? That he enjoys being subdued by his devotees. He likes to be conquered by his devotees, and sometimes he also likes to orchestrate situations where his devotees are superior to him. Like he'll have some wrestling match with his friends and have his older brother beat him in the game and so many things like this. He likes to paint this type of picture, right, where his devotees are coming out more gloriously than him, more prominently than him. So this is one of the primary reasons why we've been captured by the ideal, right, of the Krishna conception of divinity. And it's also one of our meditations during this month of Kartik. We have some new faces here. I don't think I've met you before. Is this your first time here? Okay. Well, I'm kind of a visitor myself. So. Do you live nearby? What's your name?
Jay.
Jay. Okay, nice to meet you, Jay. I'm Vishakha. What else about Kartik do you want to say? And in our temple in India during this month, it's kind of like some of you have heard this expression: simple living, high thinking. You can say in this month we tried to give more focus on that type of ideal, right? Like simplify our own living and enjoyment, minimize that, and more high thinking, more focus on the higher. And so in our temple in Navadvip in India, we would, our guru was always very merciful. So we would do in particular the first 3 days of the month, we would be more strict, and then relax, It was right. Sometimes he'd do this, allow this kind of token observance, So for the first 3 days, we would, we'd have this really simple breakfast, and the lunch would be like what we call dalme. It's just like a mix of dal, lentils and vegetables, like thrown in a pot, like simple, and some rice. Like that would be the lunch, and then breakfast would be this what do you call it? Kind of like styrofoam. Koi. No, mori's nice. But you don't like mori. You're not a real Bengali.
I'll have it when I'm sick. Yeah.
I love mori. But koi is not. Koi is like intense. It's a type of like puffed rice, but it's not crispy. The mori is crispy. It's very, very nice. But the koi is a little more austere.
Not the flat rice.
No, that's in Bengal. They're really into rice. They've got all these different types of rice. So there's
in between the flat rice and is the
yeah. So that's called chira.
Jira.
They call poha in other parts of India, and then they have the koi, and they also have mori, and then there's all other types too. I can't remember all their names. But yeah, we'd have this koi for breakfast and this simple lunch, simple dinner. And we would also go out every morning early, like in Kirtan, in the surrounding village, a town, which was very beautiful. So we do that for the first 3 days. And then we'd be off the hook. Well, I don't know, what should we talk about today? Anyone have any suggestions or anything?
Well, what's a way that we can increase our sentiment, or what kind of practice do you recommend during this month to do something extra?
Well, this song, not everyone was here, but for those who weren't, this is a very beautiful prayer. Our Gurudev recommended we sing this every day during this month. It's page, was it 254? Yeah, page 254. This is a really beautiful prayer. And this is another association of this month. This month is also known as the month of Damodar. And Damodar it literally means bound around the belly. And it's referring to this incident when Krishna was tied up by his mother, right? Symbolic of him allowing himself to be bound by the love of his devotees. So it is nice to try to chant some. This is a very nice. Most people have time constraints, right? This is a song that is nice to chant every day during this month. Try to increase in some way. I was thinking about setting a kartik challenge for myself. Well, my thing I was thinking of doing was, this is a little embarrassing, to try and do the 12 tilaks every day.
Sorry, say that again.
Try and do the 12 tilaks every day, because I do it nowadays. I do it once a year or something. You're meant to do it every day, So for those who don't know, one of our practices, we wear this tilak, right? Mine's a little faded. Hare Krishna, very nice to see you. This represents the footprint of the Lord. This represents the tulasi leaf plant, which is very dear to Krishna. And so actually, ideally, we anoint our body with these 12 markings. Here, the shoulders, the arms, the chest, the belly, the back, and then also back of the head. And also, it's kind of like you're making your body into a temple, and you're invoking, and there's a particular deity form of Vishnu who's associated with each of the markings. And so we're kind of invoking these deities to come and reside in this temple, right, of our body. And it's a beautiful meditation. So ideally we do this once or twice a day. I usually do it once a year nowadays. You do it every day, right? Pretty much. Yeah, nice.
Almost.
So that was kind of thinking to make that my challenge for this month, to try and do that every day. And maybe then hopefully just carry it on, every day. I would say it would be nice this month, like everyone can set some, like stretch yourself a little bit, like do something you don't normally do, some extra practice, maybe a little more, if you chant, 4 rounds a day, chant 6 rounds or 16 rounds or whatever it is, like stretch a little more in some way. Or wake up that little bit earlier, go to bed that little bit earlier. In some way, try to increase your practice. I would recommend. And then we have these prayers. And some other really beautiful prayers. We could actually go through those. Those would be nice to go through. Someone's not taking care of the door out there. Okay, it happened before as well. When Prabhu went out, they rang twice. Jai Prabhu, Dandavat. So some other very nice prayers to go through in this month. If you go to page 200, for those of you who have a songbook nearby, these are amazing verses, and in fact, they would be quite nice to go through right now. Maybe we can go through 1 or 2. And we have Pandita with us. We've got some super kirtaniyas, Pandita and also Nitai Chan, Rasamai Pandita Nitai Chan. So let's make the most of this. So I think many of you are familiar with this Shikshashtakam. Shikshashtakam literally means 8 instructions. And they're Sanskrit verses that came personally from Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And they're surrounding, and they're practically the only thing that he gave, apart from a couple other verses. So they're very important for us, and they're surrounding the significance of the holy name. What are the glories of chanting the holy names? Also as a reminder, or for those who aren't aware, the scriptures describe kirtan, this practice of chanting, sacred chanting, as the prescribed religion for this age. So that makes these prayers all the more important. And Lord Chaitanya, we recognize him as the avatar who came to spread the religion in this age, right? This Yuga Dharma, we call it. And so these 8 verses of instruction, they're surrounding the significance of the practice of chanting. What are the glories of chanting these holy names? What are the results of chanting with a sincere heart? What is the mood that is to be cultivated in order to truly experience the reality of this name in a real sense? So we can perhaps, that's actually would be a very nice thing to do. It's a nice meditation. Here's Ananda Srupani, looking very Vaishnava-fied. Let's chant this verse together. Chaitodar. In some of our temples, they'll chant these verses every day. Like in our sister mission ISKCON, they chant every day in their program.
What page is it?
200. Oh, do we have one that our friends here? You're okay. You're happy to listen, yeah. Okay. Cheto darpanam arjanam avamaha devagni nirvapanam Shreya kairava chandrika vitaranam vidyavadu jivanam Anandam buddhivardhanam pradipanam purnamrita swaranam Sarvatma snapanam param vijayate Shri Krishna Sankirtanam. So this is the Sanskrit verse given by Lord Chaitanya, and then there's an accompanying song which was composed, this is like Bengali, composed more recently by Bhakti Vinod, who's on our altar, and he was active in the last century. And so he composed these songs kind of elaborating on these verses, expounding upon the meaning, the mood in these verses. This verse, just to give a quick summary of this translation, it's a really wonderful verse. We have one book called The Golden Volcano of Divine Love. Highly recommended. Yes, this is a sales pitch. Unashamedly so. The Golden Volcano of Divine Love. And so the second half is our Guru Srila Sridhar Maharaj giving these extraordinarily beautiful explanations of these 8 verses. So profound and so beautiful, these explanations. So this verse, it's describing the 7 effects of chanting with a sincere heart, with a clean heart, a genuine, authentic heart. Cheto darpana marjanam means that the mira, the consciousness, chetan is consciousness, is compared to a mirror, right? And that's covered in dust, right? And a mirror in its clean state is pure, brilliant, and reflective, right? And so in the same way, our consciousness, our soul is clean and bright in its pure state. But in the becoming involved with the material energy, it's as if there are these layers of dust that are covering that purity. And so what is the first effect of chanting the holy name of Krishna? Is this marjanam, purification, cleansing. That mirror will be wiped clear. And one will actually experience the purity of their own soul, their own consciousness. Bhava mahadavagni nirvapanam. So the experience of this material world is compared to a raging forest fire. It's just burning you up. And in the cycle of birth and death, birth, old age, disease, death. So that's all nirvapanam, extinguished. In other words, one achieves liberation. Bhava mahadavagni nirvapanam. Shreya kairava chandrika vitaranam. This is a very beautiful phrase. It's comparing our own heart or consciousness to a lotus flower. It's a particular type of lotus, kairava, that blossoms under the moonlight. And so the holy name of Krishna is compared to the cooling rays of the moon, right? That are allowing this lotus of our hearts to blossom, right? And to awaken into its spiritual identity. Shreya kairava chandrika vitaranam. Then vidyavadu jivanam is describing closer relationship with Krishna, developing our relationship with Krishna. Anandam buddhi vardhanam pratipadam. At every step one will experience an ocean of ever-increasing nectar. Just an ocean of nectar, joy, ananda, joy. An ocean of joy is not enough. It's ever-increasing. Vardhanam. At every step, pratipadam. Purnam ritas vardhanam. One will experience the taste of nectar, full nectar. Purna amrita. Not just, there are a lot of superlatives in these words. Like just nectar is not enough. But purna means like full nectar. Sarvatma snapanam. Every phase, every layer, every facet of our existence will be fully purified, fully satisfied by this chanting. Padam vijayate Shri Krishna Sankirtanam. And this is a very nice phrase. You'll hear some of our devotees express it sometimes. Like, Padam vijayate Shri Krishna, saying, may this Krishna Sankirtan. So there's kirtan, right, this chanting. Then Sankirtan means full chanting. And that has different connotations, usually congregational, in a group, in a combined form. So may this congregational chanting of the holy name of Krishna, Padam Vijayate, be supremely victorious. May that wave conquer over everything else in this world and be supremely victorious. Well, maybe we can ask Pandita to sing this for us. She sings this so nicely. Here, you have a book there, yeah. Okay.
Pita varana kali pavana gaura
Pita Barana Kali Pavana Goda. Pita Barana Kali Pavana Goda.
maybe we can read this. Lord Gauranga, whose complexion is golden and who is the deliverer of the fallen souls of Kali Yuga, sings as follows, overwhelmed with spiritual ecstasy.
All glories to the chanting of the holy name of Krishna. It thoroughly cleanses the mirror of the heart and is the delight of the soul. Number 3.
All the glories to the chanting of the holy name of the Krishna is extinguished the forest fire of material existence and removes all the material turbulences.
Oh no.
Yeah, I'm fine. She's going to so use your turn to read. I bent over.
Oh.
Broken.
Yeah, I've got to get up there.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe those one of
No,
those.
don't touch me, because my other leg is going.
I'll get another.
You tell me good.
No, my legs hurting.
All glories
I've got
to the
legs
chanting of the
hurting.
holy name of Krishna. It appears like the moon in the heart and distributes its cooling moonlight, making the white lotus of the soul's good fortune blossom and bloom. Krishna Kirtan is the Bhakti Vilas, the beautiful pastime of devotion.
All glory to the chanting of the holy name of Krishna. It reveals one's pure identity in relationship with the Lord, even up to divine consorthood. This chanting is the real perfection of life.
All glory to the chanting of the holy name of Krishna. Krishna Kirtan causes the ocean of ecstatic joy to overflow. It is an inundation of divine love.
All glories to the chanting of the holy name of Krishna. Krishna Kirtan gives one a taste of fully satisfying nectar at every step. Ultimately, it bestows ecstatic love of Godhead.
All glories to the chanting of the holy name of Krishna. It floods the soul of Bhakti Vinoda. This chanting is a storehouse of love of Godhead.
Okay, so if we go over the page, then so this first verse is kind of describing like the prospects, the possibility, and then this second verse is kind of like the antithesis. And it's like kind of assessing where we are now in relation to that, right? And there's there's a bit of sadness expressed here because we're being told like how glorious this holy name is and how so much can be achieved by the chanting of its name. But if we have an honest reflection of ourselves, we'll realize we don't have pure taste for that name yet, right? If we actually had like real taste for that name, then we would be in ecstasy, in joy, and we would be constantly tasting that. It wouldn't just be every now and again, or once a day, or once a week, but it would be so relishable, so joyful for us that we'll be constantly calling upon that name. So this verse is expressing, oh Lord, you are so merciful that you've given so many names, not just one name, but so many names, and all of those names are invested with your divine potency and have the power to uplift us. But if I look at myself in an honest way, I don't have any real attachment for that name. This is my condition. So we can chant this. Nam Nama Kari Bahuda Nija Sarva Shaktis Tatrar Pita Niyamata Smarane Nakala Etajashi Tava Kripa Bhagavan Mamapi Durdaivam Idrisham Ihajani Nanuraga. We also have Ananda Srupani with us. Do you want to sing that? You can sing that song.
I don't really remember it.
It's Tudoya Sagada Tadaite Pani.
Try.
Or do you prefer to sing the next one? It'd be nice to go through the first three.
Yeah, I can try. So it's a 2 beat.
Yeah, it's 2 beat, yeah. Lord, you are an ocean of mercy, and so you have brought the teachings of the glories of your unlimited holy name to deliver all souls.
You have confirmed all your power upon your name, and there are no rules governing the appropriate time or place for chanting the holy name.
The holy name is Chintamani, which is a divine touchstone and is not different from you. Out of your kindness for all souls, you have distributed your holy name throughout the universe.
This is your mercy, O Lord. You are supremely kind. But, O Lord, I am most wicked and unfortunate.
I have never known any attraction for the holy names, and so the heart of Bhakti is filled with sadness.
Okay, one more. So now this verse is kind of like the synthesis, right? The first verse is thesis, the second one is antithesis, and then the third one is synthesis. How can we begin to approach that pure spiritual name, not just a vibration of our tongue that's coming from our own mental system, but invite that divine vibration of the real name coming from the transcendental plane. Now this verse is describing the mood that we can culture in our hearts that will attract that pure name. So we can chant this together. And this was a verse our guru would always talk about. He emphasized it so much. Trinadapi sunichena tadoriva sahishnuna amanina manadena kirtaniya sadahari. So Trinadapi sunichena, who is humbler than a blade of grass, so this quality of humility. Tadoriva sahishnuna, tolerance like a tree. Amanina manadena, to not expect any respect for ourselves, but at the same time to give all respect for others. Kirtaniya sadahari. Such a person may always chant the holy name of the Lord. So this we could say like this cultivating this spirit will create an atmosphere within our heart, which will be inviting for that divine vibration to manifest, to descend. Itai, you want to sing this one?
Sri Krishna Kirtana Jadi Manasotohara.
Sri Krishna Kirtana Jadi nice translation. If your mind is always carefully absorbed in the chanting of the holy name, then you will become qualified for chanting the holy name of Krishna.
Humbler than a blade of grass, considering yourself low, poor, and mean. Give up your false ego.
Tolerant as a tree, you should forgive the forbear, giving up violence. Practice nurturing and protecting others.
Live without causing anxiety to others. Do good unto others without considering your own happiness.
A great soul who has all these qualities should not become proud of his same qualities, but giving up position and prestige, he should always remain prideless within his heart.
Always knowing that Krishna dwells within the hearts of all living beings, you should always properly respect and honor others.
Humility, mercy, consideration of others, and giving up position are the 4 qualities needed to perform kirtan.
Bhakti, crying at the Lord's holy feet, says, "O my Lord, when will you bestow upon me the qualifications of Krishna Kirtan?"
So we're kind of running out of time, but these are the first 3 verses of the 8, and then it's really quite extraordinary, this composition. Then it's describing this like inner evolution that's taking place in the heart of the person chanting, and then this verse this 3rd one, it's probably the only one which is giving like a direct instruction. And then the following verses, they're all like subjective description of the evolution of consciousness that's taking place in the course of chanting the holy name. And so then the 4th verse, it's describing this like awakenment of this very like one pointed focus on cultivating a loving relationship with the Lord, to the point where you lose desire for all the different attractions of this world. No longer interested in wealth, fame, power, having a following, and so on. None of those things are important anymore. All I want, even liberation, is being expressed. I'm not even interested in salvation. All I want is to be able to always remember you. There's so much joy in that, just to be able to have love for you, to hold that in my heart. I don't want anything else. And then next verse is describing this this intense feeling of a need for shelter. Please give me your shelter. I'm lost all at sea here. Please give me your grace. And then there's developing of a very high mood of dedication. This describing this unconditional type of love. That I don't expect anything in return. I just want to be able to love you and to remember you and to serve you in whatever way that I can. So it's a very very precious composition that we're privileged really to hear. And these in our temples we'll normally chant these in the evenings during this special month of Kartik. So this is another other kirtans that you could meditate on this time. Okay, well, we are getting on a bit here with time. Does anyone have any final words or burning question or burning comment? Or
when it comes to seeing the God in other people, some people make it very difficult to love them. So it's sometimes, when is the right point to say, no, I'm not going to give any more to this person? Everybody probably knows someone at some point.
Oh, for sure, yeah. Well, the real question is, I think, whether we verbalize it or not. It may just be something. The main point is that we want to live progressive lives. We want to live dynamic and progressive spiritual lives, right? We want to move forward. We want to move towards the light. And do you want to move towards the light too? Or not? Not everybody wants to, right? So if we really want to move closer towards God, then we need to keep the company of those who also do, right? They're also on a path. They want, at least they're trying to cultivate a higher ideal of life, right? That should be like our base standard, right? That someone is just cultivating some higher principles of life. And if they're not, then we may have to come to that conclusion, maybe we have to keep some type of connection due to circumstance, but we can internally, we're no longer putting expectations in them or investing our faith in them, right? So, and then in other cases, there may be someone who they may get on our nerves, but we see that on the whole they're trying to improve, right? Then we may think it's worth keeping a connection and cultivating something, right? Because they're trying, they're growing in their own way, right? Is there room is this person striving to improve, right, in some way? Are they open to growth, right? And in that case, then it may be, it's healthy. It may be healthy for us to just be compassionate, be a little tolerant, right? In those cases. But if not, if they're just stuck in their level of understanding, they're not open to growth, then, what's really the point of it? Better just, withdraw, keep a little distance from that person, right? So, and I think, like, the way our guru reciprocated with us, like he looked at us in terms of our potential, and that gave us all room to grow, right? So trying to see people in that way, not necessarily what they're exhibiting at this moment, but engaging with them on the basis of what their potential is, right? Like this is the trick. Like we have to find a way to engage with others that is helping us to grow and helping them to grow too. That's kind of like the sweet spot that we have to find, right? How can I be good association for others, right? Help others grow and also help myself grow. So we have to find what's the proper point of relativity with everyone. Right? How close am I with this person? How close am I with that person? We want to be we want to have a relationship where we like everyone. So we might need to be a little further away to like them. We want to have good feelings about everyone. And some people we can be close to and still have appreciation for. Others, if we want to keep appreciation, we might need to keep more distance, right? So we don't want to be in a place where we're like harboring all these dark feelings and, holding grudges. That's like poison, actually. It's like a poison that we're chewing on. Our guru gave that analogy. It's like reflecting on other people's fault. It's like this poison. We're chewing on it and we're just poisoning ourselves, right? So we want to find the point of distance or proximity where we're not directly contacting the faults of that person, right? And then there may be some trial and error involved, right? Or there will definitely be. And then we can also find how to engage with someone so that we are bringing out their bright side. Because everyone has their bright side and their dark side. So I don't want to see the dark side of that person. So how can I engage with them in such a way that they're only showing their brighter side, right? And if we're seeing the dark side of someone, we also have to hold ourselves a little responsible. Like, why am I connecting with that aspect of that person? How can I engage with them in such a way that I'm just bringing out their bright side? And we may not have the capacity to, in which case we may just have to, take a little distance, right? So, on the whole, we want to be compassionate and accommodating with everyone. And the way in which we do that will be different, on an individual basis, right? Case by case. But keeping that remembrance, like everyone is actually pure at heart. We can remember that. Now someone may be behaving in a degraded way or whatever way it is, but we can remember that's just like a cover. They're covered in dust right now. So in that way we can try and maintain appreciation for everyone. Although maybe at a distance. That was something our Gurudev used to say. Sometimes we give our respects to someone from a distance, But we want to have some respect, appreciation for everyone, right? Because everyone has that potential within their heart. Everyone is pure at heart, But some are more or less covered than others, I could say. But certainly it is not easy. It's not easy. I hope that's helpful. Should we stop there? We have Arti.
Jai Shri Yukta Vishakha Devi ki
Jai. Jai Shri Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev Goswami Maharaj ki Jai. Is our Pujari ji ready? Yes.
Jai Sakar Aja Shri Krishna